So what's up, guys? I was able to get the truck back to the house. I'm gonna post the video or post the videos on how I made the repairs and how I got it up here in running condition. But in the meantime, I'm gonna give you a brief video about where I'm at and what I plan on doing with the dump truck. So where I want to take you first is back here, where you can clearly see that the brake lines were all replaced along with the fittings. Let's see if you can get in there. Completely to where the rear line meets the front line, it couples. So from the rear all the way back, all these lines and fittings on the brakes are brand new. The body is in fairly good condition. I purchased this truck roughly about 8 months ago, and in that time frame I've done quite a bit of work on it to get it up here. The original buyer actually bought this truck, didn't check the engine, the crankcase, for any oil when he took off, and blew the engine. It seized up on him. So he ultimately got a second engine, and the person he got the engine from told him it was a good engine. The engine caught on fire on him. So he just, reached a point to where he was like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I purchased this dump truck for about for $1,500 and put a little bit of work into it and got it up and running. So let me show you what I have done on this so far, which wasn't here originally. I put brand new battery terminals, soldered brand new battery terminals. This is a new battery as well. Brand new battery terminals. I cleaned the connections where the battery terminals actually make contact to the starter and to the ground. What I have here is my fuel pressure regulator that's actually connected to the electric fuel pump that I put in here. I bypassed the manual fuel pump because well, it went bad. So instead of putting a new manual one in there, I just went ahead and put an electric fuel pump in. This is the culprit right here, where the majority of the problem is the carburetor. The carburetor is just too small for this engine, well, for this truck. The carburetor and the intake manifold have to be replaced in order for it to run properly. That was the main issue. But in the process of putting that in, I had to put a oil pressure switch, which you probably won't be able to see it until I get in there. Let's see if I can give you a better view. Now I have a more detailed videos about the installation process, and I don't know if you can see it right here. That's the oil pressure switch. That oil pressure switch was connected along via, let me take that off, via this relay and the electric fuel pump, which is underneath. I'll give you a view of that too. And I'm not gonna go too much into detail because I've already have a video about that, about how to actually install everything. But quick overview is this is the relay. The relay is grounded to the frame. The power, main power, is fed to number 5 here on the battery, on the terminal block. This yellow wire here, which is spliced into a red wire, actually runs to the electric fuel pump itself, and this wire here runs to the electric to the oil pressure switch. As you can see here, the oil pressure switch is here. This wire, the green wire, ran to the ignition. The white wire is to the relay. The red wire runs to the starter. And the starter is grounded. I grounded it directly to the battery. And let me show you what the electric fuel pump looks like. I'll take you under here real quick. Let's see if I can get a good view. This was the manual fuel pump. As you can see, I capped it and plugged it. So now obsolete from the system. And if you can see that back here, can I see it? That's the electric fuel pump. The red wire runs to the relay, and the black wire is ran to the chassis, but I ran it to the negative battery terminal, which is still the same, as ground. Ugh. There we go. Fuel line goes from the electric fuel pump into the fuel pressure regulator. This is the inlet here, and out the inlet, the outlet here, to a gauge. You have a fuel pressure gauge, and into the carburetor. So this is what I've done so far, and it does fire up. And also, before I forget, this right here, that's actually a new master cylinder. The old master cylinder needed to be replaced because of the fitting here. It snapped off on the old one, so air was constantly getting into the system. So I bled the system and found out that 2 of my wheel cylinders are leaking, which is the which is the passenger front and passenger rear. So they're both leaking. I ordered the 2 passenger rear wheel cylinders. They'll be coming in soon, and the 2 front ones I've yet to order them, but I'll be planning to order them here soon as well. So this is where I'm at so far, and what my plans are. Now I have a full I'm gonna do a complete top end rebuild on this. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, because I think you'll definitely like to see that video. And this is what it sounds like. She's a little rough, but she fires right up though. Now my main dilemma here, I have quite a bit to do on this yet still, but my main dilemma is actually parking this thing, which is gonna be downhill. So what I'm gonna do, or what I've done already, is I've dug a hole, a nice deep one. And this is gonna go in there, and I'm gonna put 2 pieces of 3/4 inch plywood on each side to act as a stopper, just to ease the dump truck from going further. Because the brakes aren't really the greatest right now anyway. But I need something to stop that weight along with the plow that's inside of it. So that's where I'm at right now, and that's where I plan on doing, and the top end rebuild is coming here soon. So stay tuned, hit the like, hit the subscribe.